Here's from the report. Okay,
Great.
This is from the
Yeah, let's do it. Here we go.
forensic audit by very respected people, and it was a very, very conservatively done report. It's much worse than this. The astounding
Yeah, the cyber ninjas were sent in to hold back.
findings include, ready? 23,344 mail-in ballots were counted, despite the person no longer living in that address. Oh, that's good. So they...
By the way, Maricopa County went through and fact-checked all of this bullshit, by the way. Let's see. Here we go. There's a whole... look, it's voter registration day. They're really rubbing it in. Let's see. March 3rd, staff complied with Senate subpoena to gather November elections. Here you go. Oh, I definitely want to do it. Okay. They go through, if you ever want to see it, go to Maricopa County's Twitter feed, by the way. This is the stuff. Here you go. They'll present the audit live. They plan on live tweeting it, but certainly no one. Okay. 2, the report was leaked, so naturally I read it and wrote up a response discussing the cybersecurity bits. 3, most of the news about cybersecurity is concerned about whether the results came out right. This is probably the most important part, but my expertise is in the cybersecurity. Hand count and audit affirms Biden beat Trump. Can I just tell you, jerks who leaked the draft, how much I hate you forcing me to stay up till 4 a.m.? Current status, don't watch, to be a waste of time and get your blood pressure roiling. Yes, polls say voters don't trust elections, so what? Dr. Shiva, the fraud who continues to claim he invented email, despite clear evidence that email predated his invention by many years. One easy proof is early internet, ARPANET standards. Anyone can see that this looks like an email from years before his invention. Okay, this is him. This is from ARPANET. This is them sending messages via email, internal email. Shameless inventor of email among his qualifications. That's what they. Dr. Shiva is going through a list of anomalies. It's important to distinguish these anomalies. These are not things he. These are not things he does understand that he knows indicates something bad happened. Here's an example of how their explanations for things Dr. Shiva doesn't understand. He sees duplicates happen in a spike after an election, but there's reasons for this. Yes, duplicate envelopes will increase as we get closer to election day. County is contacting people to cure signatures, and people are realizing that they forgot to put their ballot in the envelope, so they're being sent another ballot. They're sent another envelope, and they actually have to like hand it in. There's no duplicate ballots, just the envelopes, right? Special bipartisan election board assists voters who may need assistance with signing affidavits. Here's an example of the anomalies pointed out by Shiva. This guy, by the way, is Errata Rob, if you want to dive into any of the stuff about this. But we'll listen to some of Trump's stuff, and we'll address it on each front. This is, and I want him to start, I can't wait till he says, like, server or some shit.
He mailed in, but there's nobody living there. 23,000.
By the way, all Trump voters, by the way, 23,000 Trump voters lied about their place of residence so that they could vote illegally. That's 23,000 off of Trump's count in the election.
The entire margin in the state was only 10,457.
Well, no, it's almost 40,000 now because of the people who you just mentioned who all voted for you, who their votes have to be removed.
So remember this, because each one of these categories are more than you need. More than you need.
Yeah, but they're also Trump voters. All of them are Trump voters. So they just lower your numbers. So now you've lost by 40,000. What next?
So you have 10,000, a little over 10,000 votes that I, quote, lost by. But all these...
Yes, we're quoting the actual election results.
This happened. There were 17,322 duplicate ballots, which
favored Trump. We watched this live. This was super good.
Renowned computer scientist Dr. Shiva,
renowned computer science,
identified as having surged right after the election was over.
You mean when they duplicate ballots after people have sent them in, both in person and by mail, because they're not going through on the machine, so they fill them out, they do a duplicate, because you wouldn't duplicate them. If there were duplicate ballots before the election, that would be weird. But since nobody's supposed to start counting until Election Day, they're all going to happen after the election, fucko.
Between November 4th and November 9th, scores of mail-in ballot duplicates emerged. Duplicates. You know what a duplicate is, right? Oh.
Yes, we know what a duplicate is. Do you know what a duplicate is? They make a copy, it's counted once. And they did find, again, this is the area where Trump lost the most. Let's see. Cyber Ninjas duplicate, ballots favor Trump. Let's see. See if that, like, there's a bunch of, let's see. There you go. Oh, that's September 20th. Yeah, this is right. Okay. Rebutting Trump's claims about fraud in Arizona point by point. Here we go. This is it. The number includes 23,344 mail-in ballots despite the person no longer living at the address. One of the themes that you'll see in Trump's claims is his unwavering insistence that the estimates provided by the team conducting the review are in fact ironclad, and that two, they necessarily represent fraud to President Biden's benefit. Again, I am going to assert from now on that all fraud found, because everyone who's been busted for fraud actually voted for Trump. Everybody who acts like the dude who murdered his wife and faked her vote while she was missing, and he was pretending that she was missing, and he voted for Trump in her stead. Trump won 100% of the murder your wife vote so that she'll vote for Trump. Neither of those is either demonstrably true or even likely true. Trump lost the county by only about 2 percentage points. We might therefore assume that about half of any suspect votes were cast on his behalf. All of them. I'm saying all of them. Prove me wrong. The specific claim, every time he brings up fraud, he lost those votes. Those don't count towards his win. You know, his extra votes. Whatever. His loss. The specific claim can be found in volume 3 of the draft report. That's the volume that actually delineates claims. Preceding 2 volumes are fairly short. In short, the final list of voters who cast mail-in ballots was compared to a commercial database of people who moved between households. It found that this is the Melissa system. It found that 15,000 people had moved elsewhere in Maricopa County before the registration deadline. An additional 1,700 moved elsewhere in the state, and about 6,600 moved out of state. What the review did not do is verify that the database results were correct. This is from a commercial database that has nothing to do with anything. Sorry, what was that again? How your remarks to Trump's points of contention actually don't make sense. If he lost by 10,000 more than that number were not counted, then you're saying they were all Trump voters. Then how your comment he lost by more make any sense? What? Oh, Frank, you're clearly not understanding me. So Trump lost by 10,000. If he asserts that there were 20,000 fraudulent votes and therefore those votes need to be thrown out, he is assuming that what it would be is that in a state, by the way, that he lost by 2%, that there wouldn't be an even match between these 23,000 votes and that they somehow all magically favor Biden. And I'm asserting, without any evidence, because that's what he's doing, is that they all favor him. And that without any evidence to the contrary, I think all votes that he says are fraudulent should be removed from his count, meaning that he lost by more. Isn't it an absurd claim? Of course it is. Just like his.
What?
That's why I keep putting that graphic up while we're talking about it. But also I'm right. Okay. So here we go. 23,000. And this is the next one. The official canvass does not even match who voted. Off by 11,592 more than the entire presidential margin. We have here Cybernet reports. This is from the Melissa database versus the state's database, which, by the way, shows that people moved, but does not show their registration or any of that stuff for that matter. and what period you would have to list it. And a lot of people just moved, you know, in with their parents or their significant other during the pandemic, but still voted from home because it's still where they live.
96% of the ballots that came in on 2 of these days were duplicates.
You what? Hold on. I mean, 2,000. I don't want to do because it's an original ballots. Is that one in here? 96% of the ballots that came in were duplicates. Okay. All of the ballots that will or could be counted arrived either in person on election day or the next day or by mail. The last day they could come in being postmarked was election day. So 2 days later, Wednesday, I think, is the last day. The 5th is when the mail-in ballot that was postmarked on election day, if you didn't just drop it off or put it in a drop-off box. Friday, no ballots are coming in. They're counting them. And they've already counted the vast majority of them. That's why, you know, Biden won Arizona and they knew it. And then they went through provisional ballots and all this other shit, but there wasn't enough of them to fucking matter. So 96%. How many was that? 12? 96% of the 14 ballots that came in on Saturday were duplicates made because they had cured the ballots and called people, and people were like, I don't think my vote was counted. Again, all Trump voters, and they should be kicked out.
Ballots that came in on 2 of these days were duplicates. There were 2,000.
Sorry, what 2 days? You mean Friday and Saturday after it was 96, not 96%? Right.
382 votes who voted in person, even though they had moved out of the county. Oh. 2,080.
Sorry, say again?
382 votes who voted in person, even though they had moved out of the county.
According to the Melissa database, not according to the person, the voter, their registration with the state. According to the state database, they voted in the proper county where they're from. Fuck you. End of story. Again, 382 isn't going to turn over the election, but I'm taking 382 votes out of your category. Trump lost by 382 more votes.
Oh. 2,081 voters had moved out of the state. They're not allowed to vote, but they voted anyway. 5,047 people. Remember, a little over 10,000. 11. Think of that. I mean, just give that a little thought. Everyone.
Yeah, a tiny little thought. Because you give it any real thought, you'll recognize that it either will be. Yeah, Trump did vote illegally in Florida. Chat room. This is true. Because he doesn't actually have a residence there. He's living at a golf club and that he legally can't live at.
These numbers, 5,047 people voted in more than one county, resulting in up to 5,295 what they call overvotes. It's an overvote. In other words, you know.
Okay. The Cyber Ninjas, the overvotes. Let's see. Let's see if the Maricopa folks deal with the let's see. Arizona overvotes. We looked at the overvotes. Favor Trump and Jorgensen. I think that's what it is. Jorgensen. Where is it? That's Arizona Central, November 6, 2020. February 10, 2020. 4 days ago. Must include Jorgensen. We'll find this because we watched it live. I don't know that anybody else is going to put this in a story. I don't know that it made it. It's November 12th. Okay, there was a lot of stories about Cyber Ninja release findings. There you go. Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp. Full report. Cyber Ninja's results on election audit. Excellent. Recommended action items. Ballot tally. Where's the, let's see. Issues America, the blank signatures. Duplicate ballot. There you go. Here you go. Duplicate ballots favored McSally and Trump. Additionally, Cyber Ninja said the alleged duplicate ballots they discovered favored Trump, Martha McSally, and independent presidential candidate Jorgensen. Duplicate ballots favored McSally and Trump. We talked about this when it happened. Every time voters question signature blank, Cyber Ninja's audit process is a bunch of bullshit. He's going to say they deleted documents and stuff too. I have to show you there's a lot of stuff in the Twitter thread from the Maricopa County folks, but I have to, let's see, where was the one? It's down here. So fun. I'll find it. I'll retweet it later. But there's some like magic stuff about them. Here you go. Here you go. This is some of the thing. 393 out of 2.6 million is the definition of rare, which is great. I thought it was pink in the middle, brown on the outside. All right, never mind. Claim 2,382 in-person voters who moved out of Maricopa County. Bottom line, in the limited time since receiving this report, we have completed spot checks on the voters' IDs provided. In the case of in-person voters who moved out of Maricopa County, we found no discrepancies with the data in Maricopa County voter registration system. We could not identify a single voter in this initial review who had cast more than one ballot. Putting back this thread to comment, claim 9,041 more ballots returned by voters than received. This is the people who voted. This is the EV33 bullshit. We talked about this on the day. If anybody wants to go back and watch Friday's show from September 24th on my channel, we went through all this stuff live. It was hilarious. Real auditors don't put up two random images of ovals that look similar and say it's evidence they were run through the tabulators twice. Okay, here's the gist from the Cyber Ninja CEO, Doug Logan, on the president hand count recounts. There are all very small discrepancies, so we can say that the ballots were provided to us, count in the Coliseum, were very accurately reflect the canvas numbers. But please continue, dum-dum.
You're supposed to vote in one county, not two. How many people voted in 3 or 4, I wonder?
None. You're welcome.
There were at least 282 dead people who happened to vote.
Yes, they voted, then they died. Their votes counted because they were alive when they voted. By the way, they were really fucking old. And more than likely in that demographic voted for Trump. Again, 282 out of Trump's count. What are we at now? Is he losing by 70,000 votes in Arizona?
Maricopa County's official canvass recorded 3,432 more ballots cast than people they recorded as having cast a vote. That's tough, right?
That's nonsense is what it is. Let's see. Do we find, is it in here? Let's see. Because we've been through this one before as well. Because even the Cyber Ninjas said that was just related. That was the people who are judges or domestic violence survivors, and they don't have their address shown in the database so that their ex can't look them up on publicly available files and kill them, or somebody can't murder a judge because they know where they live and they don't like how they ruled against their friend. So there's about 3,000 people in the state of Arizona who every election don't show up with their address on the voter rolls, just that their name is there. And that's what he's talking about. They are all hidden. You can get their names via request, like a Freedom of Information Act request, but you have to show cause because there are people who could get killed. That's, I mean, that number is super obvious and always happens. Whether they vote in person, which a lot of them don't, a lot of them vote by mail because of their safety concerns.
277 precincts have more ballot cast than people. So they have more ballots cast than they have people.
Yes, because those people live all over the state.
In at least 1,551 excess votes. 9,000.
No, there's no excess votes. What the fuck's an excess vote? These are votes that you think shouldn't be counted. They're not excess.
41 mail-in votes and voters.
Yeah, votes and voters. I mean, both. I mean, probably not. These probably aren't really voters. They're probably, Chinese people in a factory, making panda poop ballots and mailing them over.
1,041 mail-in votes and voters. Well, just to be exact, you know what? We have to get this exactly accurate because the fake news will say he said votes instead of voters. 9,000.
That kind of does matter, though.
41 mail-in voters returned more ballots than they were sent. Oh, that's interesting. How does that happen?
It doesn't. These people did not get, and by the way, he's either overlapping you have to put it in an envelope. You can't just drop it off free. Okay, I'll come in. Thanks. Put an envelope in. And they turned it in twice and it has a little mark. They brought it up and then they told them and then they came in with an envelope. Or he's simply not understanding the fact that people, I guess, or overvoted, like literally Trump supporters coming in and saying, I voted by mail, but I want to vote again. I don't trust this bullshit.
And then this is from a canvassing report that was done by a very respected group. 255,326. Remember, you're talking about a little over 10,000 votes. 255,326 early votes do not have a corresponding record in the county's voter file. Oh, that's interesting.
No. Dumbass. Those are people who walked in person. The EV33, and this is what he's talking about. There's EV32, which says that the state mailed you a ballot. It's a huge file. The EV33 is the ones who were returned by mail. Okay? So EV32 and 33 are sent out and gotten back. Now, a bunch of people didn't trust Louis DeJoy. Vast majority of the people who voted by mail were Democrats or were worried about it. So they either walked their ballot in the envelope to a local recorder's office or the county clerk's office or whatever and dropped it off by hand or on the day. But so it didn't show up as mailed back because it didn't come back through the fucking mail. Like, he's not going to understand this, and he's dumb as a box of rocks. But even the Cyber Ninjas dude was like, okay, we didn't realize they count that as a vote. Okay, that's how they do that. We didn't ask before we started asserting.
And 284,412 ballots and ballot images were, quote, corrupt or missing. This is from their report. I didn't write this.
No, that's from Dr. Shiva's bullshit. And corrupt or missing. They weren't corrupt or missing. By the way, they were, there's one in here. Let's see. Can I search these guys? Because there's a really fantastic one in here. Okay. Yeah, it was in this part. Okay, so round 2, claim election management database was purged. Claim election files deleted. Here it is. 263,139 corrupt ballot images on the county's EMS server. That's what he's talking about. This is what he's directly referring to. Bottom line, this is inaccurate. The server isn't the place to find all ballot images. We provided the hard drives that contain all ballot images and confirmed these images were not corrupted and could be opened. Background, these claims of deleting or purging are reminiscent of the false claim Cyber Ninjas made in May, accusing Maricopa County of deleting an election server. The truth is, the ninjas looked in the wrong place for the info. It was there all along. This is my favorite one. This is my, Maricopa County, I love your Twitter feed, but this is my fucking favorite one. And maybe it's because I'm a nerd. They just didn't know how to correctly set up a RAID server. Despite falsely accusing is what they mean here, us of a crime, Senate contractors have never issued a retraction or an apology. I just love this. The cyber ninjas don't know how to set up a RAID server. Oh, God. For those of you that have, if you do any video editing or anybody who's done any kind of massive music recording stuff, setting up a RAID and having it work smoothly when you're pulling from different ones, it can be a pain in the ass. And if you're backing, you got one in the RAID for the backup and you're using two active. One of them is your sort of semi-deep six in case you want to pull a file up. And it's a lot. It's not a huge deal. Almost anybody can do it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's pretty simple. But the fact that these assholes don't know how to do it is hilarious. Yes, right. I'm not even a computer nerd, and even I know what that is. Exactly, Josh. This is not... I mean, if you really get stuck, there's a YouTube video or two you can watch. I don't doubt it. How is it the same for any serious application platform development? It's not that difficult. Yeah, it's the same. Right. They just didn't know how to correctly set up a RAID server. I fucking love that. But that's what he's talking about. He's talking about the 263,139. 100% bullshit, by the way. And all these people are like, don't listen to me. I'm just telling you what they said. I'm not telling you what the people who actually were in charge of the election rebutted it with.
This is findings. They call it findings.
Is that what they call it? Findings? Is that what they found? No, their finding was that they were corrupt, and then they found them later. They found the corrupt ballot images were not on that drive. They were on another thing, and they were available.
And then the fake news said that we lost by a little over 10,000, hundreds of thousands of votes we're talking about. All of this was found without being given access to the routers, which county officials ruthlessly withheld. They didn't...
Ruthlessly. They recounted the ballots. They all matched the voter. They all matched the voter rolls. What's in the middle? Because here's the thing. If, let's just say they're assuming that the routers were part of this big Chinese conspiracy, right? That's where you're going to see it. They were attacked, and Mike Lindell's thing about that it happened at the router. It was going into this thing. Well, the router isn't hooked up to any fucking printers. And who you saying ruthless?
Want to give those routers under any circumstances. They had to be fought
because they have the IP addresses of the internal non-public network.
Hey, the county...
Bad enough they had to throw out all their machines.
The people that
routers do not retain information. No.
County, they fought us not me. They fought the Senate. They fought the Senate of Arizona, and the Governor Ducey was horrible. He was missing in action. He was actually against it. Nonetheless...
Yes, for cybersecurity reasons, fucko.
The auditors discovered that millions of election-related files were deleted during...
No, they were not. They are not kept on the machines. They are archived and stored. They don't stay on there. They're saved to permanent files.
And
thanks,
after
Jen.
The election, in violation of federal law, including a
No, they weren't in violation of federal law. Hold on. Let's see. There you go. Just the facts I vote. There you go. Election manager software, Dominion's administrative, but not updated tabulation, relaxed signature verifications, false. Okay, here we go. This is from the Maricopa County. Maricopa County relaxed signature verification requirements. That kind of Sharpies cause overvotes on election day, private donations by market. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Maricopa County did not delete files when preparing the subpoenaed SQL server for delivery. The modification date of April 12, 2021, shown in images provided by the Senate's contractors, was the day the county powered down the server to prepare it for delivery to the Senate. In a technical response, Maricopa County confirmed that the original database folder on the EMS primary server was not deleted or otherwise tampered with during packaging and delivery to fulfill the Arizona Senate's subpoena. There are several indicators on the RStudio screenshot that the Senate's contractors did not properly reconstruct the EMS primary server's RAID array. This could result in the RStudio data recovery technician program not being able to accurately translate the parameters of the server's RAID array partition scheme. So it basically looked at the let's say you have 4 RAID drives in there, as separate drives not interlinked. So you get half files in places. That's what's happening. But he understands this. Shit.
Of the election management system, that's a quote, election management system software the day before the audit began. So the audit's going to now begin.
Yes, to give them the information for the audit to begin.
Went to court, the same guy that I guess got fired. Something happened to him, Elias. He went to court. They sent in 107 lawyers to fight us on this, to fight the people, to fight the Senate. 107. Oh, she said 170. That could be right.
She said 170. That could be right. Yeah, I mean, while we're just making up numbers, why stop at elections?
These lawyers, they just emerged one day in Arizona, all the court cases, and the Senate hung in and they won. In addition, in another effort led by Patriot Liz Harris, the Maricopa County canvassing results for Arizona were just published. Where is Liz Harris here? No way. Why do you like Liz Harris so? What the hell do you know about Liz? Huh?
What are you talking about? These people aren't from Georgia.
Patriot. Biden supposedly
She's a patriot.
Won the state of Arizona by 10,450.
No. He clearly won by over 100,000 votes now that we've talked about this, and now that you've presented your evidence, I think it's clear that he actually won by a lot more, because we have to throw out a lot of your votes because they were clearly fraudulent.
Votes. Yet the report shows 173,104 lost votes and 96,389 ghost votes. You know what a ghost vote is, right?
Yeah, tell us what a ghost vote is. Tell us what a ghost vote is.
Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, that's what it is. Fucking hell.
9 ghost votes. You know what a ghost vote is, right? Where is it? Where is it? Harris stated.
That's it? Oh my God.
A conservative estimate of votes impacted was 299,493.
Yeah, so you actually won by, you lost by 300,000 votes. Biden won by 300,000 votes. That's crazy.
It is estimated that 173,104 voters had their votes stolen. Look at those lights going out over there. Oh, my God.
Yeah, apparently Newsmax can't air this because it's a violation of their agreement with Dominion.
The lights, I'm telling you, the television lights are going out. This is the most interesting part of the speech.
Sure it is. Yeah, I'm sorry if that lady passed out. She's missing it.
This is my speech you've sort of heard before, right?
Yes, sort of.
Regarding ghost votes, Maricopa County recorded an estimated 96,000 mail-in votes that could not have been physically cast by the voter, that the vote was registered to, could not have been done by the voter that it was registered to. 96,000, that's 9 times more than I need right there. That's just one little category. And the media aren't reporting this stuff. They're saying that the election results are fine. It's just not acceptable.
It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
Just like they don't want to talk about Afghanistan or Hunter Biden's corruption. That's the other thing that came out today. You see that? They delayed the Hunter Biden corruption because they didn't want it to hurt Joe Biden's chances of election. And look what happened with Joe.
How did they delay the Hunter Biden corruption? Did they contact Hunter and say, don't be corrupt right before the election? Wait till next August to be corrupt.
Biden as your president, our country has gone to hell.
Well, if hell is a field in Perry, Georgia. Oh, God, this is pitiful. Get on with it. Psst, wrap it up. Oh, they're starting to do We Love Trump because he's starting to get demoralized. Look at his fucking face. Oh, God, this is good. I lost to that guy. I lost, he lost. And stuff. I lost, he lost. Yeah, it's not doing it for him anymore. You know, sometimes you need some new porn, it seems. You go back to the old faithful and it just... Thank you. Hey, thanks. Okay. Hey, black people for Trump. What's that website? Oh, shit.
Thank you.
Get on with it. Shit.
Love you too. You're incredible people.
You're incredible people. Don't take my voice trailing off as a sign that I'm not sincere. You guys are great.
Trying to take our country away, and they're trying to steal our country, and they're going to ruin our country. And once it's destroyed, remember I used to say, we will not become Venezuela. This is what's happening. No, this is what's happening. You take a look at Venezuela. They can't get water. They can't get anything. They're living in hell.
Uh-huh.
We will not be a socialist country. How many times have I said it?
Yeah, we're not a socialist country. This is standard democratic taxation. This is just people putting people in office that they voted for, the majority making decisions about the best use of taxes, and then providing services based on it, motherfucker. Like, even the money going out, even the UI is capitalism. We're not dropping off food packs at people's houses going, this is what the state has determined you need calorically. Fuck off. Unemployment insurance is not socialism. Social fucking security isn't socialism, dickhead.
Will not be Venezuela. This is going to be Venezuela very soon. If they keep going the way they're going.
Yeah, taco trucks on every corner. And we thought we dodged it.
This is all done in a period of less than 9 months. Think of it.
Yeah, your presidency is almost completely erased.